What is up, guys? I have not done a video in a few weeks, and they blessed us with Vintage Cube, so we're gonna have a fun one today. Can't wait. Hopefully, we can open some power. That'll be fantastic. Nothing better than that, seeing a Black Lotus or a Mox coming your way. Um, so they brought up the Vintage Cube because everybody's gonna be stuck in their house, and coronavirus and all this, and just good way for people to blow off steam and not go crazy. So the thing before we start Vintage Cube, if you've never done it before, Vintage Cube is all about doing things that you're not supposed to do. It's all about doing broken things. The decks that are usually good in Modern Cube or other cubes are just mediocre decks in Vintage Cube. You want to be comboing. You want to do things that shouldn't be done on turn 1 and turn 2 and ramping and such. So you want to have a solidified game plan going in, like going through your first few picks. You want to know, oh, I'm green, I want to be mega ramped into Crater Hoof or something crazy, or channel into just Eldrazi or Splinter Twin, etc. So you want a focused game plan. Those are going to be the best decks that you're going to draft on here. So you can get away and win with some fair decks, quote unquote fair, with grindy planeswalkers and such, but typically the things that are good in other cubes aren't as good in this one. So you want to focus on like the colorless mana, fit mana like ramp and stuff, the soul rings, the Basalt monolith, stuff like that. So those are going to be the key things you want to start with. So all that being said, let's kind of jump in and see where we get to. Vintage Cube is very skill intensive, it seems. Now you can be the player that decides when everybody else is having fun, you go mono red or mono white beat down. And those are successful decks too, but they can be beaten by the fast mana of the more mid-range decks as well. So gotta be careful with that. Alright, so looking at this pack, we have a couple cool things. I like Leovold a lot. There's a lot of draw 7s, and he means you draw 7 and your opponent draws 1, so that's a lot of fun. Through the Breach is funny because you get to sneak some really ridiculous stuff in, and things with Annihilator equals just bad times. Signet, if we want to just take a colorless blue mana, any brown mana like that is just going to be good in any deck most of the time. You want it to be on color, but usually you can get that. And I found Preordain and other cantrips like this to be good in this format, a lot better than others you would think. So I'm kind of in between probably these four: Leovold, Through the Breach, Preordain, and Dimir Signet. So let's kind of decide, do we want to be the sneak deck and sneak big dumb idiots through? I think I'm for that. I'm okay with that. The other choice I think I would do is maybe Signet and just kind of stay open. But let's get a game plan right out of the gate. Let's sneak some stuff in. Alright, so that being said, we found a cool guy to sneak in, Annihilator 4, that's pretty good. He's not broken like some things, but he is good. Also, we could just take the other part of it, and sneak attack's very strong in Vintage Cube, so we can just, take things, and things I care about when they die, things I care about when they attack and enter. Sneak attack just does it all. It's very good. So I think I'm on sneak attack over Ulamog. I think we can get better big guys. Teferi's obviously good, but not as good in Vintage Cube as I've already described. Urza is ridiculous. You can definitely build an Urza deck. Many Mox Sapphires all day. Oracle I like a lot, and Brainstorm, like I said, cantrips are very good in this. But I think we just take sneak attack and we have a game plan. Alright. Blightsteel Colossus can be snuck or Through the Breach. If they don't have a blocker, he just equals they lose on the spot. The problem with him is it's a one-time swing, so if they have anything that blocks 2 damage, he doesn't win on the spot. So he's not as good as you would want him to be. The red I'm not really interested in those. Anguish Endmaking's okay. Bob's always okay. Giver of Runes is good in the white deck. I like Reoccurring Nightmare. So we could be like a more of a red-black like Reanimator deck that cares about, you know, pushing big guys through with sneak attack, things like that. And Recurring Nightmare cares about when you sack a creature, which works with both of these. So like if you have death effects, it could be really good there too. And Recurring Nightmare is kind of just a broke card, so if we get it early, we can work around it. So we'll go Recurring Nightmare here. Passed up a couple fatties for this, but we'll get others. Alright. Well, if we want to do Reanimator, Necromancy is a very good part of that. We can just use that on their creature, our creature, etc. Night's Whisper is a good draw spell, although I don't think we take it here. Abrade killing artifacts is good, but removal is less good in Vintage Cube as other things, as you just want to be doing what you're doing. And it's a lot less about interaction at times. I really like draw 7s, and this untaps your land, so you get to use your cards first. So I think I'm on that. I think that's the most powerful card in here. Some of these other things are very strong, and Chalice could be just a good ramp card that we care about. And it might be the right pick. Chalice is probably second, or Necromancy, but I'm going to take Spiral and kind of stay open to other colors. Draw 7s, untaps, you got to play your stuff first. Very good. Okay. Angel Serenity is not very good. Brimaz, we're not the white deck. Imperial Recruiter. So if we take that, we could look into maybe using Sneak and Through the Breach as a way to set up the Kiki Jiki combo, or Splinter Twin, or something along those lines. We'll just go get what we need for our combo pieces. So that could be good in this deck. That said, this is a late mana dork. There could be ramp in their future. Terminate could be good. It's good removal. Mere Battle Spear leaves some stuff behind when you sneak attack, but it's not really what I want to be doing. Girl Signet is a red Signet that ramps red, so that I'm probably going to take that. We want to get our mana set up. We want to be able to ramp and get sneak attack and stuff out. So we'll take Signet. Oh, buddy, we may switch gears. Channel is one of them. So in Vintage Cube, there's Power. And then there's a just subset right below it that's near power level cards. And Channel is one of those cards. It's one of those cards that you play and it equals you win the game most of the time when you get to play something ridiculous with it. And it already fits our Sneak and Through the Breach idea. So we're going to take colorless, ridiculously good cards from here on out if we see them. Sensei's Divine Top also is pretty good. The rest of this doesn't really matter. Boros Signet we might take. We're going to take Channel. And we're going to try to get some good things going. Jitte is very good. We don't have any creatures. We're not going to be a creature deck, so it's probably not as good in our deck. Being able to go Enlightened Tutor for enchantment or artifacts, really good. The tutors are really good in this, but it's probably not for us. Being white's probably too much of an ask. Mirari's Wake I do like, and it could also fit getting our big stuff out. I'm just going to take the Bayou. Taking a dual land's never wrong. Eureka is a trap. I would not advise doing that. Living Death, if we do go the Recurring Nightmare, and I mean, that's a late channel. That had to be a sign. I think I'm going to take the Signet. Take the green Signet and think that channel was a sign and that we're going to have to figure out how to make it work. I like Living Death. It's cool with Reanimator. Assassin's Trophy is a good bit of removal, and the rest of these are kind of meh. Well, we got a Tutor. That's not bad. Flame Tongue Kabu is not really where I want to be. Search could be good. We could go get a mana. That's probably one of the best swords we could have, but we don't have creatures yet. I could just take the Fixing and try to play some kind of Rug or Teamer. I think I'm going to take Search. I think I'm leaning into green real hard. There's no way Channel that late's not a sign. And just like that, Eternal Witness, which I'm also 100% okay with. these other cards look like they're very aggressive. So the aggressive deck's open, but I try not to play it. I mean, I can play aggressive decks whenever I want. The cube's for other things. We'll take, come on. There we go. All right. Not really anything great here. Guess we'll take an ooze. Yeah, don't love it. Yeah, really don't love it. Pelucranos is okay in this. It's nothing fancy. This is vintage cube, so Pelucranos is great in normal limited or modern cube and stuff, but this is a lot less about interaction, like I've already said. But it's a big creature, and we'll play it, and it won't be terrible. So let's take these out for now. We could play the Recurring Nightmare with the Bayou. Shaman, if we find some cool creature we want to go get for our channel, I'm fine with that. Yeah, that'll be plenty good. Garruk, sure. Nothing special, but he can do it. Wear and Tear, that's very good actually. It's good interaction. So let's kind of look at what we're doing here. So we got the remnant of a game plan here. We just have to figure out where we want to go with it. And that's the main thing. We want to sneak big dumb idiots through, and we want them to be somewhat colorless. Okay, so Wurmcoil works really good with Sneak and Through the Breach. When it dies, it makes 3/3s, so it's always going to be good. Simic Signet is very good mana, and like I said, we do care about that. Tracker is very good as well, and Metamorph can go in any deck. It just copies stuff. It's fantastic. And Maul Drifter, I'm a huge fan of, but I'm not necessarily blue here. So we got to make a decision. For me, it's between these three: Simic, Metamorph, Wurmcoil Engine. I think Wurmcoil Engine works with Channel, Sneak Attack, and Through the Breach. That's our game plan for our deck. So I think we need to take it. It's not the best thing in the world in the cube. It's late on the curve, but it'll work for what we're doing. We want something a little bit more broken. So Hierarch will be good for colors. Reclamation Sage is good to, well, I mean, killing artifacts in the Vintage Cube is fantastic. Grave Titan would be really good with Sneak Attack and Through the Breach. So we could kind of splash black, or maybe it would be green, black, and splash red. Grave Titan works really well with Sneak and Through the Breach. Being able to sneak it in, get 2 zombies, and then swing, get 2 zombies. I mean, that's fantastic. Also, Murderous Rider is very good. We could go a lot of places, but I think I'm going to go in Grave Titan. Go Grave Titan. He also works good with Recurring Nightmare. Gaea's Cradle. Can we find a way into a Mana Dork deck? We didn't see that many in the first pack. We only seen 1. But we also didn't see much green first pack. We've seen Channel late. So I think green is open. So we could go Gaea's Cradle or Natural Order and, you know, expect to get there with either. Which I wouldn't feel terrible about that. Turnabout's a Storm card. We're not this much Reanimator. And we're not Kiki Jiki with Pestermite. So it's really got to be between Atarka, Natural Order, and Gaea's Cradle. Well, it sucks because Gaea's Cradle is so much better than the rest of the stuff, but we just don't have the creatures. I'm going to take Atarka because it's something really good to sneak attack. It comes in and kind of wraps their board. And we can channel it out. Doesn't feel good. Cradle's the better card. And just like that, I get an Arbor Elf. So maybe that was the wrong choice. Well, it's hard knowing. Crucible Awards Worlds would be really cool if we get Strip Mine or like Fast Bond and Strip Mine. We could just really combo off and just take all their lands from them. But we haven't seen those cards yet. And we don't have any fetches, so it doesn't pull multi-duty in our deck either. Scavenging Ooze is a good sideboard card. good against Reanimator and other things. The rest of these I'm not terribly interested in, so I'm probably on Arbor Elf or the Reaches for mana fixing, which we will need if we're going to play all these colors, or we could just bank on Titan being sneak attack or through the breach. I'm going to take the Arbor Elf because I feel like we need the early ramp. And now I can move this search over. It's not looking terrible. Fast bond. So, like I said before, if we can get a strip mine and get that Crucible to come back, or we can get some fetch lands or things like that, we could really be going off with it. Also, Fast Bond works really good with Time Spiral. For some reason, we were able to find a way to play it. Because we can draw 7 to play all the lands we draw off of that. What do I see out of here? Duress, not really interested. Mana Type, no. Repeal, no. High Tide's another Storm card. We don't have enough ramp for Winter Orb to be good for us. O-Stone. Yeah, it's got to be Fast Bond. Renin 6 would be really cool if we got Strip Mine as well. So we'll keep an eye out for that kind of stuff. Okay, well, sneak attack Constrips means he comes in, steals their thing, swings with both, we sack this, but if we can get Kiki Jiki or Splinter Twin, we can go infinite with the Constrips. So that's definitely worth thinking about, and we're probably not going to get it back. The other option is to just continue taking mana and take the Rakdos Signet, and it goes with both the colors we're quote-unquote splashing because we look like we're base green at this point. So that could be very good. Is Elves better than Signet? Possibly, because it gives us one of our splash colors and is a creature, but we don't have anything that cares about creatures right now. So I'm going to take the Signet. Thran Dynamo is pretty good. Shield Breaker is pretty good against artifacts, and it ends up being a creature, so double duty. I like me Garruk. Is he good in this deck? He's not terribly great in this deck. We're really missing out on this high-end stuff that we really care about channeling. This stuff is decent, but it's not the Eldrazi stuff we want. Chandra, Thran Dynamo. Thran Dynamo isn't doing much in our deck. We'll take the Garruk. Alright, Tooth and Nail. I can get on board with that. Channeling out Tooth and Nail can be very good for us. We can channel out and go get Atarka and Wormcoil Engine, or Atarka and Grave Titan. So I'm on board with that. I do want to get some big Eldrazi. If we can see that in the last pack, I know we passed Ulamog, but we haven't seen either Emrakul or any of those, so we want some other stuff. But Tooth and Nail, Sneak, and Through the Breach. Feel good with that. We got the makings of some cool stuff. Well, I'll definitely take Woodfall Primus at this point. Now, Tracker is very good, especially with Fast Bond. You can kind of play a deck with more lands, so that you can just keep playing lands, draw cards, play lands, draw cards, and keep making them big and getting a bunch of clues. I like that, but at this point, I need the big guys. So if Woodfall Primus is the big guy I'm going to have, that's what I'm going to take. And he also kills Planeswalkers and other things we care about. Alright, Rex Sage or Murderous Rider. I'm going to take the Rex Sage since we're more green. We don't know how black we're going to be. It has a cool ETB. Okay, so if we can get like a couple of those mana dorks to come back around, Gaia's Cradle is going to start looking good. Alright, we got our mana fixing back around. Feel good about that. Bonfire of the Damned. It's a good cyborg card. We can main deck it if we need to. Field of Ruin can be good against certain lands. And a mono red card. Okay, so we still need some Eldrazi, some things to make this Through the Breach and Tooth and Nail and Sneak. Very good. We need a little bit of mana fixing. We need some mana dorks to make to make, where is it? Gaia's Cradle better. So it's not looking very good on opening the power, unfortunately. That's a little sad. So what fits with what I just talked about us needing? I mean, I like Basalt Monolith. I mean, you can't do much better than ramping with that. It pays for itself. Wall of Roots would be good for Gaia's Cradle and Mana Dorks, but we got two choices there, and I don't want to waste a pick on one of those when I don't care which one of them I have at this point. Damnation, not interested in Kiki-Jiki. Well, we missed out on a couple pieces of the combo before. Yeah, I just don't think we'll get the pieces for it, and we're not going to be blue to make Kiki-Jiki work. So I think I'm going to take the Monolith and just kind of make sure we can really just explode out mana. So if we have to hard cast these guys, we can. Karn is a good one to channel out. He's also a good one to ramp to. He's not a good one to tooth and nail, but I think that's alright, or through reach and sneak. If we would have took that Crucible, if we would have took Renin 6, then Fast Bond with the Strip Mine would have been very good. I mentioned that earlier, but we ended up not seeing that come back. Just know that that's a very good archetype in the Vintage Cube, and it just locks people out of the game. Secure Tribe Elder. It's a good ramp. I need a little more power. I'm going to take Karn. Yeah, I think I have to take Karn here. Questing Beast also wouldn't be terrible. Alright, Rafellos. He's a Mana Dork, and he ramps like crazy. So we're going to lean on being more forest than anything in this deck, which kind of already how this deck is suited to be. So we're absolutely okay with that. Misty Rainforest would be good because it could go get Bayou or Forest. So, you know, it's two of our colors. If we get something else, we could also make it any of our colors. Metamorphosis, not terrible. I think Rafello's just too powerful to not take here. Okay. So we got some choices here. Shallow Grave, we didn't get the Eldrazi to make that work, so we can't do that. Kadama's Reach is more ramp, which I think I'm on still. I know we got a lot, and it seems like a lot of ramp, but ramp is so good in the Vintage Cube, so just doing what you need to as soon as you can do it is really where you want to be. Vivian Reed, and I'm not much caring about that. Huntmaster wouldn't be terrible, but I think I'm on Kadama's Reach. Let's see here. Not a whole lot for us. Kitchen Finks is good against aggro decks. We could take another Garruk. He could be our third Garruk. And he's a good Garruk. And he's got a lot of green pips, which is fine because that's what color we're going to be. The Tutor I'm not caring about much. Regrowth don't care about. Batterskull could be good with Channel. But again, I think I got to take Garruk. I think it's the most powerful thing. Alright, Oko. Oko is definitely the best card in this pack. Again, I like fast mana. Ancient Tomb's not bad at all. I don't think anything competes with Oko. Can I cast it? At this point, no. I could put one blue in with Reach and Search. So if I had Reach and Search, one blue, that's 3 sources of blue I could have in the deck. I'm taking Oko, and I think I'm going to play him. Yes, I like that for Channel. Alright, we got some Channel targets, Ugin and Karn. We got some really good ramp. I focused on that early. So now we kind of got the remnants of a deck going here. We got an idea. We got some sneak. We got some creatures to sneak in and through the breach. We got a couple cards that care about the channel, and the channel can help get those cards through as well. Ugin. Every day. Rakdos Return could be cool with channel. I could channel out a big Rakdos Return and either fireball their face to death or just take away all their cards. But that would require 2 green, a black, and a red on a kind of sketchy mana base. I could just take this as a good sideboard / mainboard card. Or I could take this as a draw 7 that I could actually play. Which draw 7 with Fast Bond sounds pretty decent. I'm going to take the Memory Jar. Let's go ahead and sort this out. Wall of Roots, easy peasy. This Ancient Grudge could be good. But I think I'm going to take the Wall of Roots. I think I want to focus on ramp at this point. I know we got a lot of playables, so maybe the sideboard card's the one to take. I want to take the sideboard card, actually. Empty the Warrens, a Storm card. It's kind of a control card, although it deals with big Eldrazi pretty easily. That's a red aggro, white aggro. It's not a very good sword, so I think we're going to take the Beast. We don't have any white we're playing, so that's no good to us. We'll take a Beast Within. It's a good answer to anything. Vivian Reed, that's very good. Alright, and I'll take a Kitchen Finks as a good against aggro sideboard. Tristani is very good, and that's good against control. Okay, so we have a bunch of cuts to make. We have a lot of ramp, so that feels pretty good. Like I said at the beginning of this, where you want to focus is, 1, doing the most powerful busted thing you can do. We missed out on some of that. This would be better if we had some Eldrazi in it that, you know, come into play in middle of the top 20, like Ulamog or Annihilator with, you know, Emrakul and Ulamog, and maybe Kozilek as well. But we did not get those. We passed on one of the only ones we've seen. So our channels are going to have to focus on getting Karn, Ugin, and Wurmcoil out, maybe even Memory Jar. It also has a bunch of signets that can just kind of poop out, and that can also be good at getting some early ramp going. So we kind of got a mixtures of creatures and ramp and other stuff. So first thing first, we're mono green, it seems. That's for sure. We have 3 red cards and 2 black cards. So let's kind of look at those and see and 1 blue card. What we want to do about that. Do Recurring Nightmare. How well does it work? Works good with Woodfall Primus because it has Persist, so it could be sacked. We can get a creature out of the yard, and it would come back on the battlefield and kill something. I'm on board with that. And it has good enter battlefield effects. Same thing with this. Has good ETBs. Works good with Grave Titan for sure. Works good with Wurmcoil because you can use the tokens even after you sack him to bring him back. Does not work that well with these. Works good with Sage and E-Witness. So I would say Recurring Nightmare has a decent chance of making the deck. Sneak Attack and Through the Breach. How many of these things are we wanting to do that with? It seems like it's these. Is that enough? I'm not sure it is. I'm not sure that we're doing enough with those creatures that it is. I think Recurring Nightmare might be better for the deck than that. Now, you do have to have a creature to sack, so that is something. We only have 11, but we only have 4 creatures we'd want to sneak in. And I'm just not sure that's enough. I think I'm gonna cut these 2 red cards. Make it to where we splash 1 red and 1 blue. And we have these also for red. As much as we wanted to be this deck, we just didn't end up being it. So creatures. Yes, definitely. Fauna Shaman, I think being able to change this for something we actually care about will be good. Rex Sage, yes. Eternal Witness, yes. I think we have to play those, even though they're not the best in the Vintage Cube. I think Beast is probably better than Felucranos. Wormcoil, yeah, these 4 we got to play. So I don't think we can cut any creatures. We got to play 11 creatures. I'm on Ugin, I'm on Karn. Tooth and Nail seems good with all of these. Fast Bond can be good. It's possible we take Fast Bond and Memory Jar out, and then we kind of focus on just having our ramp. Because Fast Bond only works well if you're breaking it. If you're just playing it turn 1 and then going, here's 3 lands, it's kind of like, now I have 2 cards to play. So most of the time you can ramp out something really cool quick, but if you don't have a way to keep drawing cards and abuse Fast Bond, then you're just going to run out of cards and they have like one thing that I have to deal with, and then boom, you're going to lose the game because it's kind of like a mulligan almost. So if you don't have a way to break it, and we only have 1, then I think Fast Bond's not where you want to be. So I'm going to cut both of those. So now we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 9, 10-ish sources of ramp. So I think we can get away with at least 16 land. I like that Garruk makes creatures, Garruk makes creatures, and Garruk make creatures. So it makes me feel better about recurring nightmares. So making tokens is going to make the nightmare that much better. I like Kadama's Reach and Search, being able to go get the 1 red or 1 blue we're going to have. Oko's ridiculous. I know it seems like I'm splashing blue for 1 card and our mana is not going to be great, but Oko, when it comes down, can single-handedly keep you in a game or just take over a game. I mean, making their power into an elk feels good. Making your stuff, your own food into elks. Oko's Oko. Everybody knows about Oko. But what to cut? This is hard. So question is, as much as I like Tooth and Nail, we're looking at 4 targets we want to get, right? We have the ramp to get up to them, and we also have channel to kind of get up to them. So it's possible that we don't even worry about Tooth and Nail. Tooth and Nail is busted, but I don't think we need it. Question I have to ask myself with this much ramp, well, we don't have the 1-drop ramp, so I guess we can't go 15. If we had more 1-drop mana dorks, I would say 15 land, easy, we'll just go. But we only have 2 sources of 1-drop ramp. So I don't think that's good enough to just go with it. So we got to cut at least 2 more things. I don't think it's any of this stuff. I'm not a big fan of this Garruk. I think he can go. I like these Garruks a lot more. Taking up, making a 3/3, drawing a card equal to your power when we got big ones. Yeah, untapping 2 lands to get up here. Yeah, those are just way better. We are going to have a good amount of mana, so Polukranos could get better in that kind of deck. Would he be better than Questing Beast? Maybe. But I don't think we can cut any creatures at this point. I think I want my Gaias at least to give me something. It's not at its best in this deck, that's for sure. Yep. We could take Vivien out. We could bring Ooze in to kind of boost Gaia a little bit. And then we still have 1 card to cut. What if... No, we need as much green fixing as possible because we're going to need double green for channel, and also, if I have to, get into some of these cards. And triple green. Yeah, so I can't cut the Selesnya Signet as much as I would want to. Monolith is ramping 3, so you can go turn 3 Monolith, or turn 2 Monolith, into turn 3, have 3 mana, 6, 7, so I could almost like turn 3 Karn with Monolith and some of this other ramp. So I don't think I can, that's too explosive to not be able to have access to. Man, this is a tough pick. Alright. Let's go ahead and add our land. Add our land and I'll think more about it. Alright, so access the black, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 5 access to black, so how many blacks should we need? We got 1, 2, 3 black. 5 black, that's actually not bad. So maybe 1 black, 1 red, and the rest green. 1 red, 2 red, 3 red for 1 red card. Yeah, so 1, 1. Huh. Yeah, it pretty much said the same thing. Yeah, except it needs a few more forest. 14 land will not be good enough. I need at least 2 more. Okay, we're at 41 cards. Sort by mana cost. Let's combine. So our curve looks pretty good. We just had 41 cards. Might be Fauna Shaman. Yeah, I'm going to go Fauna Shaman. We just expect our deck to draw the creatures we want when we want them to. Alright guys, well this is the deck. It's not as broken as a lot of decks in Vintage Cube. In fact, it's one of the more fair decks, but let's see if we can do some fun stuff with it. Thanks for listening guys. Hopefully I'll see you in the next videos. We'll record some matches. Bye.